How's it going, guys? Nicholas Marsink here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Songwoven. This devlog is going to sort of be like a 2.5. We're going to show you some of the features that we've been working on. Not all of them, as they're still very early. For our third devlog, we'll show you a lot more features and updates that we have worked behind the scenes. But for this one, we just want to get you guys up to date since we've been waiting for a few weeks. Before we get started, I want to have a huge shout out to our first 5 Patreons that has enabled us to work on this game by supporting us over at patreon.com. We want to give a huge shout out to Andy, Brigida, Clara, Mine Orbit, and Wilson, who all was supporting last month, allowing us to make this great game that we are working on today. As you can see, the Sunjaali Base has been worked on. We've started filling in the base with a lot more content, and we've changed up a lot of the textures, added new people, and added new functions into this particular base that we'll dive into. So we'll start off with the different workspaces that we have been working on. So starting off with the canteen, or the eatery, where you'll be able to make dishes and purchase ingredients to make your dishes. As you can see here, we have sort of like a round table here, and whenever you see this sort of wood pallet with the rope, that's sort of where you'll bring your character up to start purchasing things or working with our shopkeepers. So we do have a difference between a canteen and a fireplace. So a fireplace, if you sit at a fireplace, you'll be able to regenerate your health, and you'll also be able to create simple dishes, or rather you'll be able to cook ingredients. So you can cook a fish, chicken, or different meats, but you cannot make a dish on a fireplace. It's just sort of like you're cooking one particular ingredient on a stick, whereas when you go to a canteen, you're able to make a dish with different ingredients, and here potentially you'll be able to purchase said ingredients. So over here we have another area. So this is a work in progress of our crafters area. So this is where you'll be able to upgrade your weapons, upgrade your arrows, purchase new weapons, and upgrade your character's armor. We also are doing a huge update on the textures. So if you take a look at the ground textures, you'll see some complexity here with the terrain. As you can see here, the textures were a lot more flat before. Now we're just adding a little more detail into the textures, adding variation in certain areas so that the space looks a lot more full. We've updated the water shader to allow you to see a little bit more under the water, so we can experiment more with underwater life, be able to see the fishes, etc., etc. We also have 2 new materials that we're very proud of, and it's sort of like a cloud system is the first one. So if you take a look at the shadowing of the ground, especially in this area here, you'll sort of see the docks get darker, or the rocks get brighter as clouds are seemingly moving in the sky. So you'll see when the cloud moves over the sun, you'll see that be reflected on the ground as well. It's a very subtle effect, but it looks very cool when you're running around and you sort of see the sky darken in front of you. We also have a new shader that imitates cloth movements. So instead of having real-time physics on our cloths, we just have a shader on the very basic cloths like this one to add some movement, but this is all material based. If you're looking at the material here, you'll see it sort of jiggling around, and so if you add that material to everything associated, like the ropes, all this stuff, you'll see that it sort of looks like it's all swinging in the wind. So we have this on our tent tops, on our leaves, on our grass, on any real sort of cloth here, moving around. See the banana trees, this little guy here has some cloth movement, this cloth here has movement. So you just attach that new material on all these different things, and it'll sort of look like the different cloth and stuff that's supposed to move does move. So here we are in the game. As you can see, it's a lot more full and vibrant than it was before. So the first thing we have here are these little placeholder gems, and these guys are supposed to be like a currency or pickup item in the game. So as you can see here, they sort of move towards the character if you get close enough and make a nice sound. We also have a new system for dialogue with our workspaces. So if I go up to somebody here, you see a little bar on the bottom indicating that we can talk to that person.
Common sense.
And you can see there, it switches the camera angle. Our character is now in our animation for dialogue, and we have a dialogue box that pops up.
Is that you don't touch anything, right?
Here you can see that whenever something is angry or mad, or anytime we want to show emotion, it'll show that in the text by color and by bold or underlining.
Your friend is not even from Mala, and yet her manners are okay.
So you can also see there that we have voice acting for our characters. So we're anticipating the whole game to be voice acted. And as they're talking,
as you might tell from my little shop, I deal in a great many things.
As they're talking, you can see that the text is attempting to match the speed of what the dialogue is. It's still a system that we're working on, but it's trying to match the wording as it talks.
I bought a lot, I sold even more. I used to barter with the nameless travelers from across the land.
So very cool stuff there. We'll go ahead and just skip this piece of dialogue here. And you can see we're moving back again. So whenever you go here, where this little rope is, you can speak to somebody, and it's indicated by this little bar on the bottom. So another thing that we've been working on is our character UI. So if you look at the left there, you'll see what character you're currently possessing. You see the character's, your partner character's life. You see your character's life, your stamina, and how many arrows you have for Jahi. If I hold on the Alt button here, you have sort of a quick menu that pops up, and I can quickly select it with my mouse here. So I can select on campfire and lay down a campfire there. So when I rest by the campfire, I'm able to get my health back. We also have my arrows here, of course. So I'm able to shoot my arrows, which we're working on those animations right now. We have potions, and we have our partner health. So how the partner health works, which I want to say thank you for one of our commenters in our community that suggested this. So you don't need to be next to your partner to revive them now. You can use some of your health to revive your partner from afar. So for instance, if your partner is down and you want to revive them 25%, you can take 25% from your health to give to your partner. And so that's what that is. We've also been working on a new inventory system as well. So we can go ahead and pick these guys up here. And we'll open up the inventory here. So as you can see, we have our different objects that we picked up. If I click on this here, it tells us what it is, and I can eat it or I can drop it. And we have crafting and objectives that we're working on currently. So I can also toggle the different categories of these things. So I can check how many arrows I have, how many consumables I have, and how many materials I have, or I can see all of them here on one list. This is still being worked on. We're still working on the UI. Our character is going to be here, and somewhere you'll also see the health of the character. So you'll be able to see what armor the character is wearing, what arrows or what weapons you've equipped, how much health I have, how much health I'm regaining from eating different things, and all that information will be here on the right. So those are the new changes that has come to Songwoven. There is a lot more stuff that we're working on that's just a little bit too early or a little too wonky right now to show at this point. But in our next devlog, we will definitely show all those things. We are really excited. Again, if you are interested in this project and you want to go ahead and support us, please support us down below at Patreon. Again, this will enable you to have access to our exclusive Discord, where we send exclusive content before anybody else gets to see it. Also enables you to get the demo before anyone else, the public demo, when it is released. So again, thanks again for watching, and you have a good one.